Hello, David Snowpeck here from Snowpeck Games, and this is my 7th progress report about adding WebXR support to the Godot game engine. I hope you had a good holiday, a good New Year's celebration. It's been a while since my last progress report, about a month, but there is a lot of exciting news to talk about today. The most exciting piece of news is that my PR to add WebXR support to the Godot game engine has been merged. Yay, we did it! I'm a little late in reporting this news, so maybe you already heard. It was merged about 2 weeks ago, back on January 4th. And then on January 7th, released as part of Godot 3.2.4 Beta 5. So no more need for special builds. You can just download Godot 3.2.4 Beta 5 or later, and use the export templates that come with it. This, of course, will also mean that 3.2.4 stable will have WebXR support. And I don't know why this is exciting to me, but it's super exciting to me to go to the Godot documentation and see the documentation that I wrote for WebXR up there in with the official documentation. I don't know. It just feels fantastic to finally have this merged. And thank you to everyone who watched these progress reports and gave words of encouragement, and everyone who helped. There were a lot of people who helped in very concrete ways in getting this done. And yeah, it's awesome. So it got merged, 3.2.4 Beta 5. You may remember in the previous progress report, I was talking about how NeoSpark 314 discovered that the y-axis on the thumbstick when using WebXR was inverted as compared to using other VR APIs like the Oculus Quest API or OpenVR, which is Steam VR. And so the question was, do we want to purposely invert what WebXR naturally gives us so that the y-axis direction matches these other VR APIs? And definitely it makes sense to do that if we know that that's kind of a standard. And the thing that I wanted to check before doing that was what OpenXR does. OpenXR is this future API whose goal is to kind of unify all of the different APIs from all of the different vendors. We don't have to use one SDK and API for Quest, and another one for Rift, and another one for Steam VR, and another one for whatever, OpenHMD, all the different SDKs and APIs out there, and just have everyone target OpenXR. So I wanted to make sure that OpenXR also had the positive Y, the having up on the thumbstick be positive Y, so that we weren't going to purposefully invert it in WebXR and make us incompatible with OpenXR, which is kind of the future. That's the standard that everything will be compared against. So Bastien Oli, on one of his streams, while working on OpenXR support for Godot 3, tested it out. Tested to see which direction the y-axis pointed on the thumbstick with OpenXR, and it matched the other VR APIs. So I made a PR to invert it for WebXR. And that was a part of a release as well. Godot 3.2.4 Beta 6 includes this PR. So now the y-axis direction on the thumbstick with OpenXR will match all the other VR APIs. Oh, and I don't know if you're aware of this, but there is an effort to port the Godot editor to HTML5. So the Godot editor running in the web browser, which is possible because the Godot editor is a Godot game, and you can export Godot games to HTML5. So why can't you export the Godot editor to HTML5? Of course, it's not that simple. It's not just hitting an export button. There's a whole bunch of other issues, like how to deal with file access, since the Godot editor needs to read and write files for your game project. It needs to start up a second process that is your game, when you click the play button in the Godot editor. Anyway, the version of the Godot editor for HTML5 with WebXR support merged, 3.2.4 beta 5, I wanted to go see like, hey, if the Godot editor runs in HTML5, can you make a WebXR app in the Godot editor in the web browser? And you totally can. I basically followed my tutorial here and set up that same kind of basic WebXR app. Yeah, you can see the same familiar script, the same, kind of blocks for hands and node structure here. And if I go and play it and mess around with the WebXR, oh, here we go. It had to reload. Let me reset. It's the problem with live demos. So enter VR. There we go. And I move around the headset in the WebXR emulator extension, and things move just as you expect. I think this would actually work with a real device as well. I haven't had a chance to test that. I can't do it here on this machine for wacky technical reasons. Basically, the web browser cannot connect directly to an Oculus Quest when it's like a desktop web browser. If I had Oculus Link set up, so I was connecting my Quest to my computer via the USB cable, I think that would actually work, but Oculus Link only works under Windows, and I am running Linux. So one of these days I have to boot up my Windows machine and connect a real device and see if this would actually work for a real device, but I think it would. I see no reason why it wouldn't. I mean, hitting Enter VR here kicks in with the WebXR emulator. I don't see why that wouldn't also render directly to a real device. So that is so cool. Using, an HTML5 based game engine editor and creating a VR game like right in it, that's just so cool. So I'm very excited about that. It was a fun thing to experiment with. And the next piece of news, GodotCon is coming up on January 23rd, and I am presenting about WebXR in Godot. It's not going to be anything that you haven't heard if you've been following along with all of these progress reports. In a way, it's kind of like a summary of everything I've talked about in these progress reports in just one, short segment, and removing like a ton of the technical details, because I wanted to give kind of a high-level thing that anyone could follow and anyone could be interested in without getting down to the technical nitty-gritty. In any case, it's pre-recorded. I already recorded my presentation about a week ago, which is part of the reason why I was a little late in getting the next progress report out, because I was busy working on that video. Because it's purely virtual and it's taking place on European time. So it would be tricky to have a pure virtual global event with everyone presenting in real time. The schedule that one of the organizers sent me, which is a provisional schedule, it could change before it's publicly announced, has my presentation happening at 9 a.m. UTC, which in my time zone is 3 a.m. I'm going to try to be online when the stream is happening and my presentation is being shown in real time at 3 a.m. Because there's supposed to be some chat rooms set up for each of the presentations. And I want to be able to, if I can, hang around and answer questions. And, if your time zone is better aligned and you want to come to that chat room and hang out, and support me. And if you have any questions, certainly you can ask them then. And we can hang out, and it's going to be awesome. Yeah, I think that's really all of the big news. On sort of smaller news, I now have a Quest 2. I just got it not that long ago, and I haven't had very much time to play with it. This isn't really WebXR related, but I guess to connect it to WebXR, the WebXR support in Godot works great in the Quest 2. And I'm going to be testing, from now on both the Quest 1 and the Quest 2. I also tested on Google Cardboard. I dug this up. I hadn't used it in several years. And the last time I used it was with a different phone. I think I had a Samsung Note 4. And it worked great on the Note 4. I remember, looking at a couple 360 videos and that being a lot of fun. That was maybe my first like modern exposure to VR, which kind of led on this slow road to getting the Quest and getting deeper into VR. But anyway, now I have a Samsung Note 8, which for whatever reason doesn't work very good with my Google Cardboard. It kind of doesn't quite fit in there, and the picture's really blurry. And this is like on even like the Cardboard app, right? This isn't Godot's WebXR support. This is just like at all things that should totally work. So I think that this Cardboard, or maybe just Cardboard in general, isn't compatible with my phone. But I did try Godot's WebXR support in my Google Cardboard, and it works as well as any Google Cardboard thing on my phone with this particular one works. So I think that it works with the Google Cardboard. If someone has a Google Cardboard that like works properly well with your phone, I would love if you could test out my Toy Racer VR demo in it. I'll put the link in the description below to get like a more definitive, like, yes, it totally does work, but I think it does. Anyway, what's next? What's next for WebXR and Godot? I want to do more device testing. I want to do more bug fixing, but the big things coming up next is some performance work that I want to do. I talk a little bit more about that at the end of my presentation for GodotCon. I don't want to rehash it now. And of course, getting into AR. Those are the two big things. I think at this point, my progress reports are going to be coming a lot less frequently, but certainly like if I have some news about performance work, or there's some new exciting apps or something really interesting going on, I will definitely record another progress report. And 100%, once AR is going anywhere, I will start making progress reports about that again too. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for your support in the process of working on WebXR for Godot and getting it merged. And hopefully I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.